Hi guys! Today let's do more of our reactional educational videos. We're going to watch Chaos Riders crazy and unexpected crashes. I'm quite sure they're crazy, but it remains to be seen if they're unexpected. Just like last time, we will watch a clip and then talk about what a rider could do differently to avoid the crash. Let's go! Okay, what we have here is lane splitting or filtering, when a rider tries to squeeze himself between the cars. I have a whole video about it, but very basically, to be a successful lane splitter, we need to do two things. We have to be very good at braking, and we have to understand why cars move in a certain way in traffic. When we see an opening like this, we should expect that some car will go there. Just like us, car drivers also want to go a little bit faster, so they will absolutely try to squeeze into space like this, even if they go forward like 3 meters. And though they should check their mirrors, they often do not care to. We can complain all we want, but that's just how things work. In this particular situation, firstly, I would assume this guy would try to merge into the left lane. But I wouldn't rule out this one either. A lot of riders, when they see opening like this, think, wow, gap is wider now, so I must speed up. But really, we should do the opposite. We should prepare to brake immediately. This guy here, unfortunately, wasn't prepared at all, and he freaked out a bit. But at least he wasn't riding very fast, which was nice of him. Ooh, poor Bambi. Well, that just shows you how stable our bike is when it moves. Look, even after a pretty serious hit like this, it just proceeds to go forward. Good thing our rider here didn't freak out and grab the brake or try to swerve at the last moment. That would be useless in a situation like this, and if he would hit the animal with his bike not upright, he would probably go down. So, good job from our rider here. Not a good job is that he's wearing a t-shirt instead of a proper riding gear. Videos like this one shows us that no matter how good of a rider you are, there just will be situations out of your control. Like here. He got lucky it was a Bambi here and not the car battery from our last video. Wear full gear. What more can I say? Okay guys, in the last reaction video some of you wanted me to be less harsh on our participants. So I'll let you decide about this one. Who is the handsome rider featured in this clip? A. Legit tough guy and certified gangster. B. Righteous road vigilante. C. An edgy wannabe who never got punched in the face in his entire life. D. A forced frontal lobotomy victim. Pick your answer or feel free to add your custom one in the comment section. The choice is yours, I won't interfere in any way. As far as the situation itself goes, it is very similar to the first one. The car driver tries to merge into the left lane, which moves a little bit faster and fails to see our tough guys. It's obviously a wrong move from the driver, but unfortunately it should be expected, it happens all the time. Notice how incredibly helpful rev bombing is. Makes them look really tough. Brakes are for pussies, you see. Okay, enough of these clowns, let's move along. This here is a classic beginner rider mistake during braking. Our rider notices a truck here, panics and grabs too much front brake too fast. This is precisely why we spend a lot of time on braking exercises on our courses. If this guy were trained enough, first he would know that he could easily make a stop here and wouldn't freak out. And second, he would have a correct muscle memory and not just grab a handful of brake. Two more things which could contribute to this fall. First, I know this bike. It's a Yamaha SR400, a vintage bike for hipsters. It has pretty crappy stock tires and very soft front fork, which is why it's pretty easy to lock up the front wheel. The bike on the video looks pretty new, so I just assume it's stock, though I obviously can't tell for sure. And second thing, which doesn't seem a case here, but worth mentioning anyway, is that new riders sometimes tend to apply the front brake without closing the throttle completely. This way the front brake locks up extremely easily, just like that. And even on ABS-equipped bikes we have like 2-3 times more braking distance, which is why, again, we must practice our braking from time to time. Group right. Let me guess, there'll be a massive crash, yes? Oh. They hit the post. Oh.
गलत सीन अरे यार shit.
Yeah, they hit it. Yeah. At least everyone seems alive. They wear some gear though, which is probably the reason why everybody is alive. Well, I can't really see from this video what exactly caused the fall, but I will praise those guys for wearing at least partial gear. Next time wear boots, knee and hip protectors, and you will not even limp. Let me guess, he's gonna be rear-ended. Yeah, but that certainly was unexpected. Let me tell you what I like about this guy. Notice that he's not in neutral. He seems to actually be in gear since he's holding the clutch. I really like that. But he dropped his guard a little bit too soon. What sometimes can happen, and what I thought would be the case here, is that sometimes when a car behind us already stopped, we have a second or third car in a row who doesn't pay attention and hits a car behind us, which in turn hits us. That's what I thought would be the case here. That's why it is really good habit to stay in first gear like this guy and check our mirrors until at least 2 or 3 cars behind us stopped. So yeah, though this particular situation was indeed unexpected, if he checked his mirrors he would probably see this. Still, the guy wears full gear, which is very nice. Now that's a horn. I quite like it. I wouldn't mind having something like that myself. He handled this situation rather well, actually. This driver here tries to turn left from the wrong lane, but our rider seems to be prepared. Notice that he doesn't have excessive speed, and as soon as the truck tries to cut him off, he immediately rolls off the throttle and starts to slow down. And throws a sound blast for good measure. No flipping off, no freaking out, no smashing mirrors, none of that stupid things. Good job, man! Keep scaring idiots!
Senor Frog. Like right there. You had to stop for pedestrians.
He handles situation pretty well, actually.
Be good. Be good. No.
Wow! Incredible! A perfectly sane person for a change. Alright, first of all, we must give credit to the rider here. He is calm, collected, and doesn't just lose his shit, which admittedly is very refreshing when we watch videos like this. Now to the situation itself. I can't say the rider here is wrong in any way, because clearly he doesn't. Yes, you have to give way to pedestrians on crosswalk. However, as a motorcycle riders who are very vulnerable to these kinds of accidents, we have to consider more factors than just the highway code. Depending on where you live, there may be certain behavior expected from you on the road, which cannot be in line with the law. Just for example, here in Argentina, by law, you also have to stop for pedestrians. But in reality, nobody does, literally never. So, if I do this in Buenos Aires, I will most certainly be rear-ended. I can't say for certain if this is the case here in this video, but by the looks of it, it can be. This pedestrian here clearly stands here for a while. The white car doesn't give him way, and the truck behind the bike obviously is not ready to stop either. So, if you live in a region in which drivers like here aren't used to stopping in front of a crosswalk and don't really expect you to do this, check your mirrors and be conscious about traffic behind you. Like here, the pedestrian seems to wait patiently and doesn't go forward. You have an option to just go ahead. Yes, it's sort of an asshole move, but you won't be rear-ended. Or better yet, if you have an option, as you are braking, you can move into the empty lane, provided you have one. In any case, it is good practice to check your mirrors from time to time, especially when you are about to brake. This again is a simple front brake lockup, which can be cured with ABS or with proper braking training. If we are trained, slides like this can be saved, especially at this speed. It would be a piece of cake. So this rider here just needs a bit more training. Additionally, the road surface between two lanes usually is rather dirty, which might as well be the case here. Learn your brakes, have some training from time to time, be mindful of the road surface, and you will never find yourself in a situation like this.
It's raining, guys. I can't. Oh, shit.
Ow, indeed. That's why we don't ride in t-shirts. Cornering is a really big and complex subject, which involves a lot of things, like where we look, how we use our body weight, how we handle our throttle, brakes and steering. All this again boils down to our training. The more stuff we learn, the better our cornering can be. In this particular case, from the video, we can't pinpoint one exact mistake which caused the rider to go down. Maybe he was target fixated on the car, maybe he was too tense on the handlebars, Maybe he grabbed one of the brakes or increased his lean angle too fast while adding too much throttle. It's hard to say. I'll just promote myself once more. Join our King of the Road course and you will learn how to handle your bike on big lean angles, how to brake in corners, how to properly enter and exit any turn, how to deal with obstacles and decreasing radiuses, etc. After that you will never find yourself in this situation, that's for sure. Alright guys, I guess that's enough for today. I hope you find these videos useful. Join our courses and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, ride safe and have a great day. Bye!